Did you just throw the game so you can rant more? Are you like fucking retarded? Or how did, when, and how, literally fucking how did I throw that game? Just want to play the fucking game. It just sucks because you have like 3 things that can happen. 1, you get camped, your bot lane loses. 2, you get help, your bot lane loses. 3, your bot lane wins, but you get camped, and also they're playing some super snowball A top that somehow manages to then win the game. Just want a normal fucking game. It's ridiculous. That's assuming you don't get these crazy as fuck broken pieces of shit, like Aphelios, like Akali. Aphelios just seems like a champion who's just going to be permanently overpowered. If Riot gave everyone 2 bans, One Tricks would no longer be able to play the game, but overpowered champions still wouldn't get banned. Great, so Sett's broken. I leave open Sett to try to pick Sett. Now what happens? Honestly, now what happens? I get Sett half the time, they get Sett half the time. Great. Yeah, because that's useful. Do I just go Mord? Because fuck it, Mord. Is Sett already on the League of Legends wiki? He is, kind of. Looks like super... It's like super duper... Like... Scuffed, but yeah. Okay, so... Attack range of 125. Okay. Movement speed of 340, so below average. Armor 37, health is 600. Decently tanky. Pretty good tank stats. Damage 60 to 128, so not great damage. Not great. So let's see here. His passive alternates between left and right, so it goes left, right, left, right. Is there like a timer? He gains health regeneration each second for 5% missing health. So let's say he's got 50% missing health at level 16. That's 20 health a second. He's missing 50% health at level 1. That's 2.5 a second. It's like neat, like hidden passive. So his base health regen is actually really fucking good at level 1, but it has basically no scaling. So it's 9.25 at level 1, but it's 11 at level 18. So I guess they're just entirely relying on your passive. Let's see. His right punch gains 700% total attack speed. Oh, within 2, so you need to do left punch, right punch is 2 seconds. So what's his attack speed? Pretty low, with pretty low attack speed per level. So it seems like you don't build attack speed on him. You'll probably get like the attack speed rune, and maybe like the Legend Alacrity, but it doesn't seem like you're gonna try to get attack speed by default. It seems like you'll go with like, I mean, maybe like a Trinity, but even then, like, because he gets so much attack speed on every other attack speed kind of has half usefulness on him. He also gets bonus AD. Effectively, he gets 7.5% AD. Left punch, right punch, left punch, right punch. Let's think here. He has no armor pen in his kit, so Black Cleaver could do decent. Trinity could be good too, sure. I don't know. I mean, probably Trinity just because of how his kit works. But, like, the way I look at him, he looks like a decent pure damage champion. Shit, I should have looked at his AD ratios before closing out. He gets fucked by other bruisers? I don't think he will, is the thing. I don't think he will get fucked by other bruisers. I think he'll do pretty fine into other bruisers, in fact. Like, the amount of damage I'm looking at, it looks like either Black Cleaver, Trinity, but then, yeah, you're gonna want to go Titanic, Styrax. It really depends on how his kit works out. If it works out the way I'm thinking it works out, you probably just want to go Black Cleaver just for the armor shred, and because he doesn't really seem... I mean, his base damage is not that great. I don't know. It just seems to me like a Trinity build that you do for him would be so mitigated. Like, you would do so much damage, but you would become so mitigated. Like, armor and shit would start chunking that damage away. I've not used my potion, and this guy's gone through 3 of his flask charges. He does feel like he'll excel at beating the shit out of tanks, yeah, obviously. Like, that one should shock no one based on his ult and shit, you know? I need to get to Seekers. But how the fuck am I gonna get to Seekers? I love it when people fucking body block me from getting into the fucking brush. So that they're standing there auto-attacking me, but my character can't get into the brush. So I get like 4 fucking auto-attacks off for free while I can't move. I love that that's still in the game. It's like my favorite League of Legends mechanic. I love it so goddamn much. It's unbelievable that someone could love a mechanic that fucking much. That shit is becoming so fucking common. It's so common that I have that shit happen where I can't get into the fucking brush where a dude is just standing there auto-attacking me from. And you're like, oh, it's ward. Why the fuck should I have to ward when I'm right the fuck next to it? That's what I hate about Seekers. I'm gonna have the damn thing fully stacked before we fight for the first time. Right? It's like, oh, you need to stack it. You need to stack it. Okay, but what if you're top lane where, you know, you're not always next to each other? Right? And what if you held the lane? Right? And what if you stacked it? But obviously, as we all know, mages are really bad at wave control. So there's no way you could ever pull that off, right? Haha. Right? Haha. Okay. Nothing I could really do about that. Like, I guess I could ult and kill the Leona, but that's not really gonna win, is it? Well, I mean, if they gave Sett like 38 base MR, I think that would take care of the issue. Because he does have his passive for healing, so he can't really get poked out too poorly, right? So, give him like a little bit of healing, or sorry, a little bit of MR, give him like the 38 base MR that like Cat and shit have. It's weird that only mages seem to get the high base MR. Oh wait, Cat doesn't have it. I thought she did. So it's a Kali. Is it only a Kali that has it? Just give him... Oh, I guess a Kali has 37. I mean, fuck it. Just give him 38. Just give him 38 base MR. That's only like 5 more than your regular champion, right? And you're good to go, really. Just a little bit. Let his passive kind of, you know, help the rest of him. Like, it's not really that big a deal. It's not like the dude's gonna go mid lane with his no mobility. By the way... You're saying that Sett's Q is good at letting him catch ranged champions. He has below average movement speed, and his Q gives him 30% movement speed for 1.5 seconds. Now, let's just be clear, okay? Garen's Q gives him, what is it? 30% at rank 1 for 1.5. At rank 5 for 3.5. So he's got less mobility than Garen. Garen, who already can't touch ranged champions. How the fuck? Yeah, like, let's imagine you're laning against Orianna top, or Vlad top, or Kennen top, or any of that shit. No, I think he's honestly just going to be a jungler. No, I think he's honestly just going to be a jungler. It's pretty obvious. Like, he's not going to be viable in top. People are, if he's playable at all, people will just bust him out into the jungle. So, it's just going to be another bruiser who's a jungler. Same thing happened to Vi. Vi used to be a top laner. But you don't give a champion really any real reason to be played top, but you give them amazing ganks, right? You give them amazing ganks and you give them shitty laning phase. No way to deal with ranged mages and shit. And it's going to be pretty obvious, in my opinion, what happens. Yeah, I mean, you remember the recent things they did to Vi. They were actually pushing for her to go back into the top lane. And I tried her in the top lane. And first off, the first problem I had was everyone just fucking played Jax. But the second problem I had was that anyone plays a ranged champion, and I was doomed. Vi really doesn't scale well enough to, like, warrant being picked top lane, I guess. Like, right now, you've got 2 kinds of top laners. The range abusers and the melees who can carry late game. That's really it. Those are really your options. Honestly, why don't they just fucking hotfix nerf Mord? Mord is so out of goddamn control at this point. No tanks? No one's playing a tank top. At best, you've got Ornn. Why? Like, honestly, why would you play a tank top? Let's look at the pros of playing a tank top. Good team fight, I guess. Doesn't need lots of items. Now let's look at the cons. Loses to practically every fucking ranged abuser in the game. Does not outscale ranged abusers. So will need support the entire game. That's about it. Yeah, but all Shen and Ornn do is beat the fuck out of bruisers. What good is that? Who's being played top lane? Camille, hard outscales tanks. Irelia. Actually, isn't it hard for tanks to deal with Irelia? Because she does physical and magical damage, and a lot of it. Like, if I'm fighting Aatrox, I stack armor, right? But if I'm fighting Aurelia, oh, huh, you know?